Opioid deaths skyrocket. Mental health suffers due to pandemic restrictions. That's a recent headline from an article published by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. The article continues, Canadians used to be among the happiest people in the world. That's changing. The COVID-19 pandemic has wreaked havoc on Canadians suffering from mental illness, opioid addiction, and other substance abuse problems. And that's so far the article, the end of the quote. All of this is from a study released by the Public Health Agency of Canada. Canada is in the grips of an opioid crisis beyond anything our nation has ever seen. And due to border restrictions with the United States, the supply of opioids is more toxic and potentially life-threatening. Health authorities in British Columbia report that the British Columbia fatality rate was up almost 150%, with more than 175 illicit drug-related deaths each month in May, June, and July. First Nations people are nearly 6 times more likely to die from an overdose than other residents. In June of this year, 2020, paramedics in British Columbia responded to an average of 87 overdose calls a day, or 2,706 calls in total for that month. In Ontario, confirmed and probable deaths from opioid-related causes is up by almost 50%. We could go from province to province, but just one more example. Alberta also reports a dramatic increase in opioid-related deaths. The previous high was 211 deaths during a 3-month period in 2018. That dubious and sad record was broken during 3 months this summer when the death toll reached 302. According to the Public Health Agency of Canada, frontline workers claim that social restrictions are the cause behind this crisis. Simply put, Canadians are less happy. Canadians use alcohol, cannabis, tobacco, and illicit drugs more than ever. CBC North has documented a huge increase of substance abuse in the Northern Territories. According to a 2019 UN report, Canada has gone from one of the happiest countries in the world to one that is troubled. To believers across Canada, we have an unprecedented crisis on our hands. A few thoughts to consider. Number one, is the government really keeping us safe through lockdowns? Even the World Health Organization has urged governments to ease these lockdowns, but to little avail in Canada. It seems in Canada, fear sells. But hold on, there's hope. Spiritual awakenings have often been birthed in a time of profound social ills. Think about the Salvation Army. In its beginning in England, the Salvation Army was not primarily a social agency as we know it today, but an army that spearheaded a spiritual awakening. And number 3, Jesus gives people a new life. The government throws money at the problem. The church offers counseling. Okay, I won't argue with that. But the gospel offers something more. It is a message of hope to those who feel like quitting, committing suicide, giving up. Christ is real. You can be born again. That means a new life because of the reality of Christ working in you. Now that's a message worth sharing.